Revolution of 1952. In 1952, Colonel Nasser and General Mohammed Neguib led a revolution which removed King Farouk of Egypt from power. This was because the government of King Farouk was corrupt and inefficient. A republic was established in 1953 with General Mohammed as president. However, Neguib was unwilling to continue the reforms, and this caused dispute between him and Nasser. In 1954, a group loyal to Neguib tried to assassinate Gamal Abdel Nasser but failed. In response, Nasser overthrew Neguib from power and placed him under house arrest. This enabled Nasser to consolidate power within Egypt, and he became the president in 1956 after he won the election under a new constitution. Colonel Nasser carried out reforms in various sectors. Contribution of Gamal Abdel Nasser. 1. There are 11. He carried out land reforms. Some of the land was taken away from the rich and given to the poor. He improved the working condition of workers. Workers were given better salaries, housing, and retirement benefits. He abolished Sharia courts and established a modern judicial system. Under his leadership, more health centers were built. He encouraged the use of birth control method and provision of clean drinking water, and this improved the living standard of the people. He built more schools and universities. The system of education was changed to favor industrialization. Free primary education was also provided. He encouraged the formation of cooperative societies to assist farmers in the production and marketing of crops. He established industries, thus creating more jobs for the unemployed. He changed the ownership of the Suez Canal from private to government ownership. He planned and completed the construction of the Aswan High Dam, and this led to increased production of electricity for the industries in Egypt. Water from Lake Nasser was used for irrigation, fishing, and transport. He participated in the formation of OAU. He played an important role in assisting liberation movement in Africa. Colonel Nasser brought to an end an oppressive traditional political system and replaced it with a democratic government. He helped to improve the living standard of the people of Egypt. He also supported other African countries in their fight for independence. Eventually, Colonel Nasser died on 28 September 1970. Leopold Sedar Senghor. Leopold Sedar Senghor was born on 9th October 1906 at Joal in Senegal. Having completed his primary and secondary school education in Dakar, Senghor went to study in Paris in 1928. He studied French, African linguistics, and other subjects. He became the first African lecturer in France and taught from 1935 to 1945, although this was interrupted by his involvement in the Second World War. During the Second World War, Senghor joined the French army and fought the Germans. France was defeated and many of our soldiers captured as prisoners of war. Senghor was one of them. Later the Germans released him and he returned to France. Senghor's political and literary careers were inevitably linked as he wrote poems while under German custody. He deeply treasured his African heritage and wrote numerous poems of resistance. He also extensively wrote on linguistics, politics, sociology, and philosophy. He also helped to form the Negritude, which means a black movement which promoted African culture and values at the expense of European ones, Africans, and niggers. In 1945, the people of Senegal elected Senghor as their representative in the French Parliament. In 1948, he formed a political party called Bloc Démocratique Sénégalais, Bloc Démocratique Sénégalais, BDS, or Senegalese Democratic Bloc in English. It had a lot of support and was the predominant party in Senegalese politics before independence. In 1951, he was re-elected to the French National Assembly. In 1960, Senegal attained its independence with Leopold Sedar Senghor as the first president. He ruled Senegal for 20 years and voluntarily retired from politics in 1980. Contribution. He was one of the greatest writers and poets of Africa. He represented the people of Senegal in the French Parliament. He used poetry to spread information about the importance of African culture and value and to encourage Africans to unite. He also used poem to oppose French colonialism in Senegal. He led the people of Senegal in the struggle against colonial rule until they attained independence in 1960. Senegal attained independence in 1960. He was the first African president to retire voluntarily from active politics. He thus set a good example for other African leaders. Leopold Sedar Senghor played an important role in the Black Liberation Movement, not just in his own country, but in French sub-Saharan Africa. His socialized ideas made Africans proud of their heritage and motivated them in the struggle for independence. Eventually, Leopold Sedar Senghor died on 20th December 2001 at the age of 95. That marked the end of prominent African leaders Nelson Mandela, Sedar Senghor, Gamal Abdel Nasser. Thank you.